Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Quad Shot Podcast, episode number 8. We're fired up. We're ready to be here today, and I am stoked. Round T, how you feeling, baby? Come on.
Roan T. Hey guys, feeling great. Excited to be back. Another episode. We're
Let's
getting it in.
go.
Let's
Let's
go,
go.
baby. Come on.
Hey, let's get it up. Come on. We're here. Let's go.
Come
Christ.
on. I got my
I'm
stew.
sipping.
Get your brew.
You got
Right,
I'm
your
on
brew.
This is grapefruit spindrift. They're good. They're good.
All
What do
right.
you got?
Lemon's
Is
better
that
though.
quad shot
Lemon's better.
iced?
Quad shot ice.
Good, good,
Yep,
good.
we're on.
Okay, so we're here, episode number 8. And
Ah.
as we have been doing for the past couple of episodes, we're going to start off with Buzz of the Day segment, okay?
Pause of the day segment.
I'm taking
Here
the
we
lead
go.
on this week. I got a quote for you guys. It's another good one. It is David Goggins. Love him,
Goggins.
as I'm sure you know.
Stay
Okay.
hard.
So I'm gonna get right into it. We're gonna go right into the Buzz of the Day, and it's a David Goggins quote. Here we go. Pain unlocks a secret doorway in the mind, one that leads to both peak performance and beautiful silence. Now, why I love that quote so much, I'm going to read it again. Slower. Okay, ready? Are you hearing this?
I'm hearing it. Yep.
Pain unlocks a secret doorway in the mind, one that leads to both peak performance and beautiful silence. Why do I love that quote so much, you ask? Okay. This quote
may
hits deep for me, man. This quote it's I don't know. I love it, okay? So, have you ever been in those situations where you're struggling through something and you feel major resistance and you might be in some sort of physical or mental or spiritual pain that you have to push yourself past, okay? And it can seem pretty chaotic on the inside, but you're always left with a sense of accomplishment and then that silence afterwards. And that silence for me is so important because those are the moments where you're not reflecting on what you just did. You're not thinking about how hard it was or how, proud of yourself that you got through it or it's just you are simply in silence. You're there and you're just experiencing the present moment. And I think those certain situations of, high intensity, like I said, physical, mental, whatever type of pain that you went through, and you saw it through, you saw it to the other, to the other end, and now you're on this other side and you're experiencing this stillness, this silence. They force that forces you into the present moment, okay? And now you're there and you're sitting with it, and that's life. You're experiencing the present moment in that. And silence, I think, is such a big thing, right? Because we can allow ourselves and our minds to just race on and race on, thought after thought, whether it's positive or negative, loop. Like you can kind of just let that keep continuing on. But I think those moments of silence are so important to have for yourself, no matter how long they are, and I think that's the goal of meditation, right? So these instances of high intensity and pushing through them kind of puts you in that silence. So, notice it afterwards. Next time you're in a situation like that, notice it once you're on the other side, and you're like, oh man, that was that silence. You know what I mean? That's that moment. Like I was just in life. I wasn't anywhere but right here.
Yeah.
My old boss always used to say, like, you are where your feet are, right?
100%.
And if you
And
are
when you
where
really
your feet are,
yeah.
that's
You know
you're
what?
in the moment. So
You know what's crazy about that too? When you really think about it, that's life. Those are the moments that make up your day and make up your life.
right.
You don't have anything else but your present moment, but that present moment,
Mhm.
you know? And I think it's easy to get away from that, you know? And I think moments like that where you do struggle and all you can possibly do and all that you have like capacity for is that present moment. It's almost like a beautiful thing because you don't get there in many other ways when you're going throughout your life, right?
Right.
Because it's so easy in our day to day to get caught up in the little things, to get caught up in, that person said this person said that. I don't, I got, I'm 15 minutes late, but I got to go. There's so many other things that can easily distract your mind, um, you know, of, right? So like
Mm.
you've got to take care of your mind. You've got to have moments in life or in as a part of your day to sit back and completely have that stillness
Hmm.
and let yourself come back to yourself.
Yeah.
I,
And
I always you've got to reboot. You've got to
yeah,
reboot.
it's definitely a reboot. And that being said, like, you don't have to go through these, high intensity experiences in order to experience this silence. Like, you can find that on your own. You can find that, through practice and, putting yourself in that place intentionally, right?
Yep.
If you want to go there, you can definitely reach that place at any moment in life. And it's
Yeah.
good to kind of experience that and or experiment with that and try, you know, say you're having like a crazy day, you're jumping around everywhere and there's so much going on and your mind is racing and you just stop for a second, you take a deep breath. Like the breath for me like really helps me engage the 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 act of being in the present moment. If I just stop, I take a deep breath. I say,
Yep.
okay, you're here. You got to be where your feet are. Slow down. My mom always just
Yeah.
say to me, my mom always say, slow down, slow
Slow down,
down.
dude. You know what's
Jesus.
funny? Dude, my mom always used to say that to me too. Like, hey, Ro, slow down, take a deep breath. She always before school, she was like, when I was younger, it's like, Ro, take 3 deep breaths.
Mhm.
I want to hear 3 deep breaths. And like, it was crazy how like even after those 3 deep breaths, like I felt like just better about
Right.
myself, better about the day. Like your mind's a very powerful thing,
It is.
and it at times it's hard to control, but only the top tier, most successful people, the people who are doing the best in life, have
Hmm.
mastered that skill of controlling your, and not even controlling your mind, but yeah, to a certain extent, but overall, just understanding yourself.
Yeah.
And when you have more moments where you sit with yourself and understand like where you're at in your current situation, then it just kind of continue to add up and kind of create that log right in
Right.
in your memory of like, okay, I've been in this situation before, I've felt this pain before. This isn't anything new to me. I'm just going to go back to what I know.
Yep.
you know Feel
Right.
grounded, continue to, and I think a lot of people, we've talked about this in previous podcasts before, but you know, those situations make or break people, right?
Mhm.
You can either cope with those situations in a very poor manner, or you can just come back to yourself and sit with it. Don't overreact and just be like, okay, what do I need to do to make myself feel better?
Yeah.
What are some healthy ways to cope with these feelings, right?
Well, that
And a
brings
lot
it
of
back, dude. That brings it
go
back
ahead.
to like a really good that some of the ways of coping, like that brings it back to the breath. I think that's such a key tool in order, you know, to slow down and, bring yourself back. Like the breath plays a big role into that, at least for me personally. I think having that in the tool belt and being able to pull it out because it's accessible at any time, right? No matter where you are, what you're doing, you can always take a deep breath, right?
And
And
sometimes, dude, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I don't know, man. I've experienced moments where the breath work or just like breath alone has been able to make a massive impact on my emotions and kind of pull me out of these patterns and this negative loop or whatever, or just drop me back in, bring me back to where I am. Okay, say I'm like working on something and I'm getting flustered and I'm very focused and I'm driven and I'm in it and I'm like getting hot, I'm starting to sweat and I'm fucking flustered. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
you got to take a step back, man. Take a step back, take a deep breath,
Yep.
take a fucking walk, okay, and then come back, boom, drop back in. Now you are where your feet are, and you have a new
You're refocused.
boom
Yep.
light
And a
bulb,
lot of
and you
people,
go and you
yep.
figure it out. It's incredible.
And a lot of people don't refocus,
Mm.
and that leads to them going down a path that no one in their right mind would want to go down, right? So that could mean a plethora of things, but
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
We're,
yeah, yeah.
you know what we're trying to get at, folks. So
Yep.
that was a great man. That was a great buzz of the day segment, Ado. I appreciate that quote, and David Goggins has some great stuff. So I recommend tuning into him, and really his overall message is just like, you know, part of my French, but don't be a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I
You
mean,
know,
it's
show up.
push yourself, right? When
Push
you
yourself.
want it the least is when you're gonna gain the most, right? Out of
Yeah.
the situation. Yeah, a few like things on that quote that I wrote down here.
Yeah. What do you got for us? What do you got for us, Adam?
Uh,
Come on.
like
At.
it just kind of sums up kind of the quote, like embracing discomfort. Um,
Yep.
Embracing that discomfort, not giving up, right? And pushing yourself through those moments. But okay, yeah, to kind of sum it up, yes, those moments of extreme uncomfortability, super resistance, whatever, being on the other side of that, getting through that are going to put you into a state of silence and being in the present moment. But, obtaining that at any point in your life, anytime, no matter where you are, you can do that as well. You don't have to be in these situations, right? You can do that through little tools that you pick up along the way, like the breath, like we talked
Yep.
about. So, yeah, I love that buzz. I love that buzz, man. That's some awesome
Love
stuff.
it, man. Yes, sir.
So
Hey, thanks for bringing that to us, man. Thanks for bringing that to us. And
I got
and
you, brother. I
yeah,
mean, shout out David Goggins for that one. That's an awesome quote.
shout out Goggins, baby. 75 hard. Come on,
We love him, Goggins. Come on.
Goggins, baby, Goggins.
So
Uh,
that's kind of gonna roll us into the episode here. Episode 8. We're showing up. We're doing our
Episode
shit,
8.
man. I love it. We don't really have a topic that we like specifically we
specific.
want to touch, but we're gonna go around. We're gonna cover all the bases we wanna touch today. And yeah, what are you thinking? Where do you want to start this one off? We're kind of just
Well, I
winging
think
this
what
one,
we-
man.
yeah, we are winging this one. I think that's a good segment. Buzz of the day was great.
Yeah.
And I will say this to wrap that up: is no successful human being, or no successful human being. How do I want to say this?
Take your
Every
time.
yeah, every successful human being in life has learned to deal with that discomfort,
Yeah.
that silence, coming back to their self.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't grow, you don't learn anything about yourself or the world if you keep just sporadically running from that discomfort
Yeah.
and using external pleasures or outside things to distract you from that.
Yeah,
Right? So that's
100%.
bottom line.
100%. I feel like, dude, desires and pleasures and all this, like, the short-term stuff, whether it be, like, food or, like, a candy bar or maybe, like, hooking up with somebody or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you desire something so much and, like, you give it to yourself. I feel like that also plays a role in like comfortability and safety and like desire. You gain a lot of pleasure from it, right? But you do need that in life. Don't get me wrong. It's super important to have those things, right? But like we were just saying, like the discomfort, the pain, getting out of your comfort zone, all that stuff. It's like in that desire, that pleasure, you're not really pulling much away from those situations. So.
Yeah.
It's like a Reese's cup I love fucking Reese's cup so much, dude. Or like a Justin's peanut butter cup. I not Reese's specifically. I like to go like dark chocolate, like organic.
You're trying to
stuff.
be a little healthier.
You're trying
but
to be a
still,
little bit healthy.
it's
I
still
love
chocolate
that
and
shit.
peanut butter
Just
at the end of
fucking
the day.
peanut butter cup. I love that shit, dude. But listen, man, listen. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm watching a show, which is another desire, by the way, watching like a show or something. And I'm sitting there, and I eat a peanut butter cup, right? And there's 2 in the package. Okay. I eat one. I'm like, oh my God, that was so good. It lasted like fucking 10 seconds. Okay. I eat the other one. The package is empty, man. It lasted like a minute. Yeah, it was
That
awesome.
was it. That's all you got.
That's it. So it's really interesting. Like how many times are you going to open that shit and eat the peanut butter cup a day or a week?
Until you
or
sit
a
back and
month?
you're like, you know what? I don't need this.
What do
You
you
know?
think about like
But-
a reward system? Like you treat yourself like a fucking dog or something. Like it's a treat. Like
No,
all
I
right,
love
bet,
that.
Like
I
if I
think that's how it
show up,
should be.
I wake up, I go to the gym, I go to work, I did this, I checked all the fucking boxes, boom, 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 I'm doing
Yeah.
all my shit. All right, now I fucking owe myself a goddamn peanut butter cup, right? Or like diets and stuff like that. Diets too. Like if you have like a day, like I like to do this where I'm on like Tuesday through Saturday, I'm on my diet or excuse me, Monday through Friday, I'm on my diet, and then starting Saturday after work at night is like that's like the beginning of my cheat night, right? And then into Sunday
Yep.
is my cheat day. So today's
Yeah.
my cheat day. What did I do today? Today I actually had my stomach was weird today, but today I had like a protein shake in the morning, and then I went to this local place, Viv's Kitchen. Shout out Viv's Kitchen, super dope,
Yep. Yep.
dude. The place was closed, and he was in there like he's like, "Oh, I'm closed Sunday." He was in there
You
like,
hooked it up?
and dude, he saw me standing out there, and he came out and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "Do you want something from just the takeaway fridge?" Like, I'm not obviously gonna cook anything, but like he just hooked it up. Fucking legend. Appreciate you, my man.
That's
Viv's
awesome,
Kitchen.
man.
Shout
That's
out
awesome.
Viv's Kitchen. Awesome place on Cape Cod. But yeah, so I got overnight oats. I still like to like go healthy on my cheat days, but you got to treat yourself with like that peanut butter cup, right? So
Yeah.
I think
And,
it
and, and that's
like the
and then you
reward
look
system.
forward to it that week. And but
Yeah.
in order to get that reward, you have to put in the work during the week. So that's kind of similar to what I do. So my tentative rule, like during the week, weekdays, Monday through Friday, is that I don't, or I guess Monday through Thursday or Sunday through Thursday. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink. Like I won't drink or consume any alcoholic beverages.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's a pretty hard fast rule for me, unless like there's a special occasion, someone's birthday party, something like that
Right.
where we're going out.
Right.
But I found that that rule helps me a lot, like dial in because if I'm like I'm gonna do everything I can during those 5 days prior to the weekend to like treat my body the best, do multiple workouts a day, do different things,
Yep.
like take care of my body myself, get my work done that I need to get done. And then you're able to have a few beers on the weekend without regretting it or being like, "Oh man, like, you didn't you didn't you didn't earn it,
Mm-hmm.
And when you earn something, we're human beings. We're meant to have a purpose. We're
Yeah.
meant to strive for a goal and, you know, try attempt to achieve something, right? So it's those little things where like, okay, shit, you feel good about yourself about you're able to have a beer
Mm-hmm.
because you did what you needed to do to become a better person during that week and treat your body accordingly.
And
So
it makes that beer taste so much better.
yeah, it makes it taste so much better, man.
Yeah.
But as soon as that Sunday rolls around, you're like, all right, I'm dialed in,
Dial the
right?
fuck back in,
And,
and that's
and that's the
important.
thing about life. You've got to create your own parameters in life. No one else is going to do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the hardest things that people. And I always tell people this, like working in the industry, working at like bars, nightclubs, like, dude, it's such a slippery slope, especially out here in San Diego.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a tough
there's
life.
always a party, man. There's always something going on at night.
Yeah.
And if you can be able to handle that and control yourself, then you're just going to reap the benefits and rewards and just and be able to enjoy those moments of pleasure when you can, without looking back and being like regretful or guilty about what you did, or have a few beers, if you didn't if you didn't take care of your shit.
Yeah. Earn it. The
So
reward system,
yeah.
it works really well. But like you said, it's really important when I'm sure if you have a rigid structure, the cheat day reward system basis, something like that, then you've all experienced, like, for me, it's, Sunday night rolls around and I'm like, fuck, tomorrow I got to dial back in. You feel a little bit of resistance and uncomfortable because you just kind of like pleasure it out for the weekend, right?
Yeah, and you feel so good and relaxed.
Yeah.
But I think
You got to bring it back. You got to dial the fuck
you got to
back
bring
in.
it back.
You have
You got to
to.
bring it back.
Okay? Because listen, man, listen, there's going to be next weekend, okay? Right? So
Yeah.
during the on days, you got to stay focused. You got to stay
For yourself.
true to
Yep.
yourself. Build that schedule. Write it out, okay? Write out like, this is how I'm going to eat. This is how I'm going to exercise, in and out of work, like, build that structure on your
Yep.
on days and then follow it, okay? Just try it for a week. 1 week.
Because loving
Follow it.
yourself is following a schedule.
Yep.
That's part of loving
Systems.
yourself.
Systems.
Great.
Systems
Great.
create
No one's gonna-
success. Goals don't.
Yeah.
Systems.
As an adult, no one's going to create boundaries for you. It was hard for me to learn to adjust after college because I didn't have any responsibilities. Like, I had mandatory workouts I had to do. Like, I had practice. I knew what my schedule was going to be, and I think I struggled with that a little bit, not like to a bad extent, but I think it was hard for me after college, after I was like, oh shit, like I'm on my own. No one's going to tell me what to do.
Mm.
I'm living by myself. Like no one's going to tell me to work out. No one's going to tell me to do this or that. And that's where you really begin to develop like, okay, who am I as a person? What do
Yes.
I want to make?
Yes.
What do I want to do with this one life that we get? And it's like, all right, well, and this goes back to what we talked about in previous episodes. Like, how do I want to feel at the end of the night when I put my head on the pillow?
Hmm.
Right? You build that like catalog, that you build that fucking muscle memory,
Yeah.
and that just helps,
Well, dude,
create
I
that
want to
kind
touch on something you said. Like, no one's gonna tell you like this or that, or get
no
up,
one,
go.
dude.
But like, I know like a lot of people out there, like they got a gym buddy, or like you, like I'll help you, you help me. Like that's what friends are for. Like it's important to have those people in your life, right?
It
And
is.
you when you need a little bit of a push, then
You
you
can
can receive that. But you're not going to be able to stick to it if you
sustain.
can't
It's
do
not
it.
going to sustain.
You can't sustain it if you can't do it
Yeah.
by yourself, okay?
And the
When the
only way to
only
see results
person
is
you
to
hear is
sustain
the
that.
fucking
Yeah.
voice in your head, the only person you hear
Yeah.
is the voice in your head when you wake up. And it's, like for me, sometimes like it happens, often when I wake up at 5 a.m. and I feel like I don't want to get out of bed. And it's almost like a back and forth.
It's a battle, dude.
It's
But
a
you
it's
always
literally
gotta
a battle.
win.
It's like,
You
okay,
always gotta
like
win
you're literally having a conversation in your head back and forth. Like,
with yourself.
do I want to get up? No. And then I'll say to myself, like, yeah, you want to get up? Get up. Like, this is what you want to do. This is how you're going to become better. This is how you're going to push yourself.
Yeah.
I have to tell myself this in my head. Call me fucking
Yeah.
crazy, but it works. And then I think, like, what kind of man do I want to be? And at the end of the day, how am I going to feel if I don't get up? So, boom, I shoot right up once I tell myself that, because it's so true. Like, and then, you know what, man? When I do go, I get up and I go to the gym and I have my breakfast and then I finish my work day and I'm sitting down at the end of the day. I think to myself, wow, I feel so much better that I did that.
Yeah.
Right? And because I've had days where I haven't gotten up and haven't gone, and I'm sitting there at the end of the day, like I could have
kind of like,
gone.
Yeah.
Why didn't I go?
Yeah.
Right. And
you almost feel like you let yourself down a little bit.
a little
and
bit.
That just,
yes,
yeah,
but
just a little
also because I am exercising and I'm eating on my clock, you know what I mean, and I'm setting my circadian rhythm, I'm doing all these things, that I notice help me feel better. I literally feel physically better. Like, your mind tries to trick you, like, oh, if you get up right now, like, you're tired, like this and that. No, man, like you can't let your brain trick you into thinking these things, because when I do get up and I feel so much fucking better. I feel so much
Yeah.
better physically, mentally, everything. So
Dude,
it's
honestly,
battling that,
I think God and the universe knows, and I think it rewards people who put in that kind of work. You might not
Yeah.
see it overnight, but if you continue, and I really truly believe this, there is a higher power out there that if you're trying everything you can to become your best self and not fall, not getting involved in those short-term pleasures like too often, and you're really doing everything you can to attempt, to be your best version of yourself, then
Yeah.
and you put energy out there. I'm a huge firm believer in that you're gonna get some help along the way with the universe or God or higher power or whoever like pray to or believe in. Then I
Yeah.
truly believe that.
I 100% agree with you.
You know,
100%.
and eventually it'll pay off, but it's not going to pay off unless you start doing those steps and taking care of your stuff from on an everyday basis.
And the consistency.
It all builds up. The consistency. It's like, man, it is so true, and
That's
it
like
might
a
take a
higher
little bit.
power reward system, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I
you
truly believe
build,
that, man.
yeah,
I
no,
truly
dude,
believe that.
I love that. I love that you said
Yeah.
that, because it's really true. And I know that a lot of people like struggle with the ideology of God or a higher power or,
Yeah.
this and that. But I'm sure you've caught yourself externalizing it in some way, like even if like when I was younger, I had a weird relationship with God, or whatever you want to call it. I know some people that word has some resistance. So, but now I'm so in tune and comfortable, and often I pray every morning, every night, and throughout the day often,
I didn't even know that, dude.
every single day, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I I think it's really important. I like to, send like positive energy, good health to
Yep.
meet myself and my loved ones. That's,
100%.
that's really like the basis of me praying. Um,
Yep.
and that comes back to like, you never know. Like, life is so filled with mystery. You never know what happens. So, if it is, God forbid, like the last thing that, you thought about someone or said to someone, or like, make it a good one. Make sure you're telling everybody you love them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think it's important. Like, and I pray for things that I want to welcome into my life. I'm open to receiving gifts. And I'm willing to do the work and, build the
To receive
foundation
those
to
gifts. Yeah.
receive those gifts, right?
Yeah.
And I'm totally open and I'm willing and I believe. And dude, something that I felt very, very powerful, especially lately, is the trust. Okay, the trust in a plan, right? And I've always really struggled with this because I've gone through a lot of
Yeah.
shit in my life, man, and I've always wondered, like, what the fuck is the plan behind this shit? Why am I doing
Yeah.
this to myself? Like, why did that happen to this person? Like, all these
Well, I think this
questions,
brings us back to
like,
the
what's
buzz
the
of the day is
plan?
that you've been through like I guess you've been through pain and enough uncomfortability and struggling where you've had enough moments where you come back to yourself. You're like, you know what? I need to change. I need to change for myself. And you flip that switch.
Right,
You know.
right,
So
right.
so go ahead.
But yeah, no, when you're in that pain and you're in those situations, it's hard to like trust that plan,
Yeah.
and believe that there
It is.
is a plan or, whatever, man. But recently for me, like a really big thing has just been trusting. As long as I'm doing my part and I'm being consistent
Yeah.
and
Showing up.
I'm following my structure and I'm surrounding myself with my loved ones and I'm bringing
Hmm.
positive energy and I'm spreading love and I'm doing
Yeah.
everything that I can, to
Yeah.
like you said, to put yourself in a position to receive the gifts. So I,
Yeah.
I, I think it's an amazing thing, really, if you can
At
find
least in the
yourself in
best
tune with it.
possible position you can.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know things will come up and there I wouldn't even say roadblocks, but there's certain things that you can go do and have fun. But as long as you're not a lot of people try,
Yeah.
and we talked about this in our last episode. Like, just try, man. I
Hmm.
mean, you'll see so much results like pretty short term if you just show up every day for yourself, and your loved ones, and you're committed to yourself, and the people around you,
Yeah.
So you know, yeah, I can't stress that enough, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, also you were talking about those moments, right? It's like that's all we have, you
Hmm.
know, and you've gotta, and I take that seriously every single day. Like I know that today could be my last,
Right.
or tomorrow could be. So it's like if I'm walking down the side, like I'm always putting that into perspective, and it helps you kind of get out of that depressed mindset. If or it's easy to be, I think people. This goes back to like thinking so single threaded. It's like or I guess what like short. What's the word for it? Like I guess so like
What, like
one dimensional.
one dimensional?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
but,
I
but
see
I
what you're
think it goes
saying.
back to those moments where it's like every single moment in my life that I think what helps me be so positive is that I understand what this is.
Yep.
I understand that we're gonna die someday. I understand that I might not see that person that I saw on the side of the street that looks like he's not having a good day. I'm gonna say hi. I understand that. It's just everything so. I don't know if the right
That's
word
not
for
a
it is, but
morbid way of thinking either, right? And someone
no,
could
it's
like
not.
misconstrue it as
Yeah,
but it's not, right? And that's what I love about you so much. Like, you are that light, that positive light that kind of
yeah.
just moves around, and like you do see it for this could be our last interaction or
Yeah,
whatever,
and I
man.
and
And
I
you
want
just
to
want the
leave
best out of it.
wherever I've been with the best possible just energy,
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think
Once you
it's
leave the
so
room, everyone's
important.
like,
There's
"Holy shit! I love
like,
this guy."
yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, dude, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like life's. It's so easy to overcomplicate life or get caught up in everything and get stressed out. But like at the end of the day, we got each other.
Mhm.
I feel like on a spiritual level, I feel like we're all interconnected.
Yeah.
All human beings. We're all cut from the common cloth. Some are a little bit more troubled,
Mhm.
and that can be mental illness or you know, I get, and yet again, it comes to your point when you reach a lot of suffering, like you get to a point with yourself where it's like it's either make or break.
Yeah,
You
there's a
either
fork.
it's fight or flight,
Yeah.
right? So it's like you either change what you're fucking doing and completely 180 your life, or you keep going down the wrong path and you end up like someone who, if you see him on the street, you're like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
ain't doing too well, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's so important just to like be that light in whatever you do and treat people well, no matter who they are,
Hmm.
and just be kind, man. I think that's what our world's missing, right? And even if I come across someone with a different opinion, then so be it. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're your own person. Just treat people well.
Yeah. It's
Treat
dude, I
yourself
feel
well.
like nowadays, man, like that shit is so like it's so far away. It feels like the
Overlooked.
no, like like having a conversation with someone you disagree with, or you know what I mean, like treating people well, no matter their opinions, no matter like just having that mutual respect, or not even respect, but just understanding that you're a human, and we're both here, okay, right? And I feel like that's so far away now. Like I don't know, man. Like I I feel like now in like this day and age, like some people can't even have a fucking conversation, like with one
It's
another,
pretty wild,
because the
man.
opinions
It's
are
pretty
so
wild.
fucking split in between, and yeah, that could bring you down a whole nother road. But one thing I did want to circle back to was like the whole higher power, like God thing. Recently, um, it's a personal thing, so I don't want to share it with you guys right now. Maybe one day, but I had asked for a sign, and
Now let's clarify for our audience. Did you
yeah,
ask for your sign through prayer internally or out loud? Did you say that to yourself?
great question. It was both out loud and internally. I noticed I said it internally at first,
Okay.
and I felt like it was something that I needed to ask for, like out loud and vocalize it. So I actually was by myself and I said it out loud. That's a
Yep.
good question. I love that. But
Sure.
anyways, so yeah, I
Well, I think it's important. Go
to
ahead.
clarify, definitely important, right? But I verbalized it. I asked for the sign, and I received the
A sign.
clearest sign I've probably ever received or was able to digest in my entire life. There was no if, ands, or but about this sign, right? It was so in my face clear. There were multiple things converging at once that created this answer to my question, right? It was a question that I had, and now it has been answered. I asked and I received, and it was so funny. Like in my head, I was like, "Geez, ask and you shall receive," huh? Like I was by myself. It was clear as day, and it answered my question just like that. So, I just want to know, like, I want to let you guys know, like,
Let the audience know. Let everyone know. Give them a sense of hope. That's all you got
it's
in this
there,
in
it's
this
there,
life,
and
man. Is hope.
connect to it,
Yep.
right? Because it's there for you, and it's there for everybody, and it doesn't matter what God you believe in, or higher power, or this or that, right? There's something stewing out there,
Bro,
okay?
we're not any different than any of you guys out there.
Right.
We just turned on the cameras and started talking to you guys. Like it's out there for everyone,
Yeah.
and I hope everyone listening to this understands that and takes a step forward today to better themselves, better their life, and love themselves a little bit more.
Yeah, that's why we do this, man. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know?
dude, like
And sometimes it's
I
hard.
just get, I don't get how people don't understand that. I don't get how like it's like it just amazes me. It just I don't understand how people are so fucking small minded,
Yeah.
and not even in a bad way. Just like they don't appreciate life. They don't appreciate the little things. They don't
Well, I
just
mean, it's
yeah.
easy to get caught up in a, I guess, like a mindset when it's been drilled into your head or fucking hammered for so long. Like that's literally all you know, right? So why are you gonna make this shift out of your comfort zone now? You know? So I think that's probably why a lot of people stay where they are, or um, they have a lot of resentment for and they place blame on things, whether that be God or someone in their life or just
Because they don't want to
in,
look internally. That's why.
right,
Because it
exactly.
scares them. It scares them, and that's okay. It can scare you.
It
It's
should.
just about breaking it down. It should. Yeah, it's
It
hard
should
to look
scare you.
internally and
Dude,
yeah.
fucking I've cracked open shit inside of myself that I'm like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't want to face this shit. I don't want to deal with this shit,
Yeah.
dude. I'm fucking
Man, I've been
sitting
there
there
too.
like
I've been there
sweating."
too.
But you got to face that shit, man. And
Yep.
you got to do
Yep.
it alone.
And it goes.
You don't have to do it alone.
Gotta do it
Excuse me. You don't have to do it alone, right? Therapy or, talking to someone, a loved one, right? Those are really good ways to get a different perspective, help break down something in your life, help you understand something from a different perspective, like just understand it more and gain more clarity around that subject, right? But
Yep.
at the end of the day, it's you and you, and you still
Yeah.
have to sit
You
with that
versus you,
thought,
man.
right? So if
You
you
still
do go
do.
to therapy and they do give you a different
it's just-
perspective, you still have to apply that, right? You still have
Yeah.
to apply that by yourself. So it does come back to
It
you.
still helps though. That does help bring it out
Oh,
of you and
dude.
yeah.
100%. Of course it
Um,
helps. That's why it's there.
Yeah, what's the phrase? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
so
a
it's
good
like you
phrase,
can help
man.
them. Yeah, no, dude, it's been going around forever, bro.
Who come up with that one?
Bro.
Roan T. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
gee.
Roan
Come on
T.
now.
Holy shit. I'm going to grab a spin
Pod,
drift.
pod,
I'm a
pod.
little parched these days. 1 sec.
Are you all right?
Yep.
Yep. Are we still live? Are we cutting this?
Baby, I'm back. Hit.
Hit. You went grapefruit, huh, bro?
Listen to me, bro. When you go to the grocery store and they don't have any lemon, they don't have any lime, you're looking.
They're
looking to
forcing your
left.
hand.
You're looking to your right, and all you see is grapefruit.
What are we doing next, Johnny?
You gotta go grapefruit. 1 sec. Let me fix my hat. It's displaced.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes
There
you
you
gotta
go, Bucky. There you go.
Bucky. Sometimes you gotta go grapefruit, right? Okay. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, right? I love a good fruit, a grapefruit.
Is that a Brucey or no?
Fibbo,
Fibbo?
a little bit.
Fibbo.
Wait. Okay,
All right, that was
Ronan.
good.
I
What do you
really
got?
like that talk, but I kind of want to segue into something completely different. Why
Sure.
don't you tell the audience what you did last night?
Oh, are we
Come
going
on.
there?
I think we
Fuck.
should, man. I think we should. I just love. I love it's we talked about this in another episode. It's another one of Roan T's life moments where he's pushing himself out of his comfort zone and he's putting himself in a position to succeed
Reap
and
the
grow.
benefits and rewards and
Yes.
grow as a human being. So,
Yes.
okay, guys, last night I went to the San Diego Rotary. San Diego Rotary. Yeah. I was at the Rotary. All right, so last night, pretty nervous. Went to the San Diego Rodeo. I know it doesn't sound like it should be nerve-wracking, but it was I was part of an event. So it's called Catching Honey. Shout out Catching Honey and Lane.
Shout out,
Yeah. So if I don't know if you guys know what it is, but Catching Honey it's like a singles meetup event. So pretty much like the whole motto is like, oh, get off dating apps. Like, yeah. So I went to that and it was like, we had our own, it was super awesome, man. It was like, people were cool. It was like this rodeo. It was all country themed, first rodeo I've been to. So it was super cool. Petco Park. They did a great job. So yeah, it's a singles event. So obviously everyone there is single, trying to meet people. And you got some beers going. It was pretty nerve-wracking because I've never been to one of those events, because everyone knows why you're there. But I just took it in stride. And I'm like, you know what? Another great opportunity for Roan T.
Roan T.
Roan T. to get out of his comfort zone. And that's what it's about, right? That's the only way you're going to grow. It's the only way you're going to find out more stuff about yourself as a person to help you succeed down the road, right? So I did that. I'm proud of myself that I did that.
And it went well, right?
It went
was
really
fun.
well, man. It was just
You met
yeah,
some cool
and
people,
I think
right?
met some great people, and I think the big takeaway from it was why it was successful and why I had a good time was that going into it, I was like, Ronan, all you can do is be yourself. All you can do is be yourself, and that's all you can do. And I just had fun with it, dude. I didn't go there with any expectations. I just had fun with it. I talked to everyone. Everyone was awesome, good people, good vibes. Like, and funny in life, like those are sometimes like the best moments and when you reap the biggest reward is when you go in there with no expectation, just your true authentic self, clear energy. You clear your energy before, and you're like, all right, do a little meditation. Boom, like we're gonna have fun. I don't know what to expect, but just we'll see. So
Yeah.
and that usually attracts, if your energy's right, it usually attracts the right energy, right? And to keep going back to that, man, if you got your head on your shoulders the right way, then you'll meet people like-minded, who just appreciate that. So I'm grateful I was able to be in that headspace last night and just keeping working on myself, man. I mean, I'm getting closer and closer to to the person I want to be, and I'm definitely proud of myself.
You are the
Still a lot of
person
work.
you want to be. You're an amazing person, right? But just keep
Thank you, brother.
growing, keep
You
building.
know what I'm trying to say?
I
Yeah,
love it.
appreciate
I
you.
love it. I love it.
But yeah, man, that's it. I recommend, and I will say this though. I'm not throwing shade, but obviously I'm a little bit more outgoing than other people. But I will say that there was a lot of guys there that like were just like went to that and were just like kind of sitting by themselves, like not talking to anyone.
Well, it's
Maybe that
scary, right?
it is scary. It
You
is
know?
scary, and I almost like felt bad and like I wanted to like wing, and I tried
Get him
wingmanning
going.
a few of them.
Hey,
No,
what are we gonna do here? We're gonna get. Come on.
I'm like, hey, you met my guy? Like, so I tried wingmanning a few of them, but like, yeah, it was good. It was good, but I think that just goes back to my mindset, though.
Yeah.
It's like you only live once. If these people don't like me, who cares? I'm gonna go see other people.
Yeah.
Like, go hang out with other people. Like, dude, like
Blip on the radar screen.
You
That's
shouldn't be
another one of
scared.
my sayings. My boss
blip
came up
on
with.
the radar,
Blip
man.
on, all right, I just love it. He didn't come up with it, but he said it to me and it was stuck. Blip on the radar
yeah,
screen.
and like, yeah, like you're not gonna. Those people are focused on themselves. They're not gonna like. It's just like I don't know. It's just like my model lately. What I've come to the conclusion is like, if you strike out, you strike out.
Yeah.
And there's billions of people. Like there's more people to talk to. There's more like if you have bad interaction, then okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You're not gonna let that get you down. That's life.
Yeah. Well,
You
dude,
know?
I wanted you to talk about that, and honestly, man, what a cool fucking event! Like,
Shout
the
out
fact-
Lane. Honestly, I respect that
Yeah,
she
dude.
started that and like she's
That-
doing her thing. She's really cool, by the way.
the picture you
great
sent
energy,
me,
like-
dude, from the
Yeah.
so at the rodeo, the picture that you sent me and what you told me about it, like you're in like a box seat.
So we had like a
overlooking the
suite,
rodeo.
yeah,
Yeah,
Petco
suite.
Park overlooking the rodeo
With a
Yeah,
bar,
yeah.
so you're basically just like in a glass box overlooking the rodeo.
With
You're
a
at
bunch
a
of
cool
people,
event
just
with
like
a bunch of people.
Mingling. But not like
fucking
forced mingling,
awesome.
but yeah, it was awesome, dude. It was awesome. So I had a blast. Shout out Catching Honey. Shout out Lane.
Yes, those
yeah.
events are amazing, and bring it back to like we were talking about last episode, like a place like San Diego, and those types of events. Like I can't find that shit on Cape Cod. I could
Yeah.
create it, right? Okay, but listen,
which
man,
we will. So, hey, we'll create something big someday, bro.
well,
Come on.
of course, man. This is why we do our podcast. But like something like that, like what an amazing and beautiful thing, and to go and to be able to do that, and network and meet these cool people, and maybe you meet a beautiful girl, and you take her out, and you guys
You
fall
hit
in
it off.
love, whatever. But it's just
But,
it's
like,
a
the thing is,
beautiful thing, right? And
Yeah, it's cool.
those areas, right? And like San Diego, like they have a lot of opportunity and offer a lot of stuff like that. So
For that.
it's awesome.
To continue to grow as a human being.
Yeah. It's cool. All right, guys, we are catching the end of the pod here. I really like today's pod, man. We talked we kind of just went off our Buzz of the Day segment, and that kind of just segued into some beautiful conversations. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in here, so I really hope that somebody out there took something away and they can utilize it and in their own life and
Yep.
better yourself. That's why
Yep.
that's why we do this shit. So,
DM us,
dude,
comment.
yes.
Want to hear from
Thank
y'all.
you for saying
Come on,
that,
more
man.
interaction. Come on, let's go.
we love interactions. We love people. We love you guys. We love our viewers. DM us, whether it's nice pod or whatever.
Let us know what you like, didn't like,
Yes.
what want us to cover. Like, let us know.
Yes, exactly.
We're
We
going to talk
want
about
your
anything and be raw and
opinions.
authentic. So let's
We
go.
want your ideas. If you guys want us to talk about something, DM us. And if you want us to shout you out for your idea, we will. If you don't,
will.
then we'll just.
If you have a
kinda
good
talk
quote for
about
us
it.
for Buzz of the Day, if you want to be mentioned on Buzz of the Day, if you have a quote that you came up with,
that's
thought
a
of, like,
great idea.
yeah, Like
Let's
if
go.
anyone's got something for us, we can shout you out, and we want to be just
It's the
be a part
community.
of
We
it,
want to
man.
create a community,
Yeah.
and we have a small
Yeah.
community, and we love you guys a lot, and we appreciate you.
We love you,
So
love y'all.
let's start more interactions, okay? If you guys have
More
ideas,
interactions,
we
guys.
want to
Come
bring
on.
those. We want to bring those ideas. We want to use those ideas, and we want to shine some light
Yeah.
on you guys too. That's why we do this. We love you, okay? So that's episode 8, Quad Shop Podcast. I had a lot of fun today, Rowan. I
Had a great
appreciate.
episode, bro.
It was a good episode. I appreciate all your little insights and everything you said.
You as well,
was
my man. You as well.
beautiful. It was beautiful as always. So we'll be catching you guys next week for episode 9, and we appreciate you. Roan, you got a work event. Stay dialed in. I want you on that shit. Fucking let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Let's go. Let's go.
Bless
Quad
her.
Shot Podcast, baby, and we are out.
We're out.